Welcome to All of We TV. I'm Emma Prevost. We're here on the Big Island, St. Croix at Island Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Why are we here? We're going to talk with Miss Pat Ragguette. Many people may know her as the sales manager of this facility, this automotive dealership. Others know her as the lead singer, the female vocals of Express Band, the world famous. When you see her come on with her high boots, songs such as Bandana, Recklessly, the list goes on. But many people don't know Miss Pat Ragguette is a native of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the whole Caribbean, all of us are impacted as we feel for our brothers and sisters who are right now enduring the effects of the volcanic eruption. We wanted to talk with someone who's a native of the soil, someone who's been through the 1979 eruption themselves, and who will tell us a little bit of what their families and friends are going through.
Watch out for the shock, it's coming.
Pat, thanks for having the talks with us. Known you for a number of years on the stage, after stage. Amazing person. Getting ready for this conversation, I'll just be playing one of my favorites, Recklessly. I could play that for hours upon hours. And you know, like Bandana too, when you come down in the square over here in St. Croix, but Recklessly, when I'm on the radio, I always tapped it. I know a lot of people know, but some may not know, you are born and raised from St. Vincent.
Yes.
So tell us, what are the talks? What are the reports you're getting from your friends and loved ones? What's the climate on the ground?
Okay, first of all, I want everybody to know I was born and bred in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I spent 33 years of my life in St. Vincent, and I migrated here. And my father lives there still. My aunts, I have aunts, numerous aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews. Sisters, what they're telling me is that where most of them were living is in the red zone, which is like Georgetown. So some of them are in shelters, some are with relatives, you know. But so far so good, they pretty comfortable. So I'm in the process now of trying to send stuff to them, direct to them, not through NEMO, which is the emergency organization that have in St. Vincent. I want to send my stuff to them direct, you know, so I know at least they will get what I sent.
Sure. Just give us a general landscape for those who are unfamiliar. How big is St. Vincent? Give us a little bit of education about the island. If you know how much cities, how much little parishes you have and stuff. But how big is the island?
Okay, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we call it Hiruna, gem of the Antilles. St. Vincent is 133 square miles. Just like here, we have country and town. Well, we say over here we say east and west, but we have the west side for us is the leeward side, and the east side is the countryside, and then we have central, which is the capital. The capital of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Kingstown. You know, we have a number of other villages, too numerous to mention, and I left St. Vincent so long, I get so old, so I can't remember everything. Okay.
And you are from the village where the volcano is located?
Yes.
Tell us about that. So, like, you see the mountain outside of your window? How is it?
I was born in Georgetown, and we can see the Soufriere volcano on a clear day. We can actually see the crater on a clear day. In 1979, I was 12. I know everybody wanted to now to see how old I'd be, but I was 12 years old, and that erupted, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. And I vowed to myself I would never want to experience another volcanic eruption. Wow. It was terrible.
At that time when that erupted, what was it? You had to go to friends and family or shelter, or how you had to respond to it?
Funny enough, my parents, them were pretty stubborn. So I was scared because everybody left the village and it was just like us alone up there and another neighbor. They had a car. It was like a Volkswagen, some kind of the bug, the little bugs. It was blue. I could remember it was light blue, and we had to, when the stones started to hit on the galvanized, that's when everybody, my parents decided that we got to move. So the same time the neighbor from the other side of the car, we had to jump up in that car, and we end up in another village called Diamond, which was a safe zone at the time. Still is a safe zone. So that's where we stayed for a couple of weeks. Well.
So now, in the 1979, did they have as much warning as they had in this experience? Do you recall?
No.
It was a kind of like a overnight thing. It just exploded.
Yes, and you see, modern technology wasn't at its peak like how it is right now.
Yeah.
There was no cell phone and people sending out messages, whatever. We only have our only form of media was the radio. And that time we only had one radio station. Yes, so we was depending, everybody depended most on that radio station. Was called 705 Radio. Still is, still 705, but they changed the name to like NBC.
So your dad, he's still in that same village that you grew up in?
No, he moved to a safer zone. He's in the safe zone right now, but he's okay. So he didn't really have to move. Actually, families and friends had to move, and they're all in the house full. And that's one thing I like about Vincentians. We it's a small island, and we are like family. And putting parties aside, because we're very political motivated, put political differences aside, when we have disaster, everybody get together, everybody unite as one, which is what I admire about our people. You know, everybody in every country have the ups and downs, and at the end of the day, family will have the ups and downs, but at the end of the day, when we have a disaster, we join together, we unite as one, and look out for each other, which is great.
So now, and the good thing, and thank you for having this conversation, because, and I know it's going to be hard for you, your family and your people in there during this disaster, as you know, as for us when we go through, and this is bigger than a hurricane, you know. This is very unpredictable, and no one knows when they're going to end. But these conversations, especially from someone like yourself who lived there, we get to learn, and we get to feel and know about the place itself, know about the people and what going through, because mainstream media and government will put out one side or something. And you know, I've been seeing both sides. I've been seeing the government side, and I've been seeing the other side of the people saying, hey, there's a lack of stuff and then in need of certain things. Have you been hearing that from your folks? Well,
yes, but you know, in life you will have people who will say negative and positive. But I'm not living there, so I really don't know, and I can't really listen. Not everything you hear, you have to believe. So I'm just going with what my family members are telling me. They're okay because they're not in shelters. Some of them who are in shelters, they'd say at the first night they didn't have no beds, and that's understandable because they didn't know the exact day when this volcano was going to erupt.
So outside of the red zone, the other safe areas, the town is still open, the city is still open?
Yeah, it's still open. Not only the essential workers are there, the supermarkets, of course, the gas stations, the hospital workers, you know, the essential, just like when we had like the COVID, same thing. And apart from that, the COVID is still rampant down there, you know, so it's like double jeopardy. Because we have the COVID, and then we have the volcanic eruption, and then you're thinking about the shelters, where people have to be in the shelters, hundreds of people. I mean, I think approximately 14 to 16,000 people had to be move to shelters. With COVID going on, just think about it. You know, and the place is topsy-turvy. I've seen some pictures, and it's really devastated. It's like there's some villages in the red zone that they say they can't even recognize some parts of the village, like one river moved from this part to the next. Big, huge stones, boulders. You know, so I don't know, nobody, I mean, most of the people here never really experienced a volcanic eruption, but I did. and it's not something I'll wish on anyone. I wanted to say enemy, but I don't have enemies. Who want to have me as enemies is up to them, but I don't have enemies. I love everybody. End of story.
We as a people, we like to help one another, especially in times of disaster as this. From speaking with your folks, yourself, what do you think right now are the best ways anyone who is inclined to help can help?
Well, I think we have quite a few people doing that. They have a telethon that will be televised on Sunday. We're going to be performing on that telethon. People can pledge, monetary donations.
So we performing that?
Express Band.
Okay, so this is a local telethon?
No, it's based in New York.
So live stream at different places,
yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
Different. No. So the telethon is one way, but for normal people want to rush and do a container or send a barrel and thing. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, we have somebody, Barbara McIntyre. She's doing that.
So like the MoneyGram and the Western Union, those still open?
Yeah, those still open with long lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we wrap it up, in 1979, how long did this, when the eruption occurred, how long did it last? And how long were you out of your home? Because when now we done erupt and calm down, how long it take for you all to get back to your home?
Okay, it's I think
I know it's been some time.
Yeah, but I think it took a couple of hours. I think probably 8 to 9 hours of eruption.
Okay.
And then we stayed at least close to a month before we could go back home, and there was ashes all over the place. It's like when you walk, but the ash at that time, we say ashes, but I just want to be politically correct. The ashes on the ground was like really high, but it was soft. Like when you step, you're going right down inside it. But this time they say, this is not like ash, it's like fine stone, like fine gravel, like you grind stone. Fine gravel, so it will be very high. It's like you're walking on something high. You might get a little sick, but not as much as it was back in 1979. Yes.
So I really want to say thank you for just giving us an education course. It was an education course for myself, because sometimes when we don't know, we disconnect. But folks like yourself, native of the soil and who have experienced it before, who have friends and loved one day, just your conversation, just opening our minds. And when we open our minds, then we can open our hearts and understanding. And so I want to really say thank you for that there.
Not a problem. I appreciate you having me on for the people of the Virgin Islands and whoever else in the world is looking. On the telethon on Sunday, I'll give you the information so people can look and donate whatever up. You can donate $1, we don't mind. One full of basket, that's what we say back home. Yeah, and I love my country, I love St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and guess what? We're gonna bounce back.
I want to say thank you to Ms. Pat Ragguette for this educational conversation. Thank you to everyone who's holding the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines in their prayers and their thoughts. Remember, look forward to the telethon and give what you can. And there's going to be many relief drives, there's going to be many supportive activities. What you can give is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching All of We TV. Stay tuned.